Top 10 altcoins I would buy on this Bitcoin dip. Bitcoin has just taken a massive dip. This is leaving many in the cryptocurrency markets asking this question. Is now the time to buy, or is now the time to sell? Do lower lows await, or are higher highs programmed? How about some of the OG crypto natives help the newer crypto traders in the comment section below? Comment your answer to this and it'll be interesting to see what you say. I say with 11-spot Bitcoin ETFs waiting approval in January, including BlackRock 90% chance this will happen with Bitcoins, having coming up April 2024, by the way. Bitcoin hits new all-time highs after every single halving, historically with it being a near 100% chance. The Fed cuts interest rates by Q2 2024 with a record 5.7 trillion cash in money market funds, some of which will flow into Bitcoin, of course, with Bloomberg predicting a Bitcoin price of $500,000 plus. With altcoins gaining real users, real adoption, real attention from legacy giants for the first time in cryptocurrency's history. Like we've never seen something like this before with Bitcoin having such strong bullish momentum. I mean, Bitcoin is still up 150% year to date. Plus with the BlackRock Ethereum ETF hype about to hit the mainstream. How can you not be bullish? You can make tons of money trading altcoins. This is a fact. So here's my list of top 10 altcoins I would buy on this Bitcoin dip. I'm an early investor in this protocol. But from the looks of the chart, this protocol is still pre-pump. So it's called Bonsai seed. And this is basically turnkey token creation. Create a blockchain. Create a token without having to write a single line of code. So imagine what WordPress did for Web 2. And envision that this is what Bonsai could do for Web 3. We're unlocking the next wave of blockchain innovation, all without writing a single line of code, DAO-owned and community-driven. Solana just hit a new all-time high, not in price, but in terms of consecutive days. Live, the fact is Solana today is so different from Solana in the beginning, with Solana P integrating with e-commerce giant Shopify. They do 10% of global e-commerce. With USDC stablecoin now enabling Solana rails with a big upgrade called Fire Dancer on the horizon for the Solana protocol. Not to mention that I think there is still upside. Total value locked is not near back to all-time highs, but it is climbing. The fact is Solana is shining bright as one of the best alternative L1s to Ethereum. Many people comparing Solana to Ethereum, saying Solana is superior in some ways. Of course, there's trade-offs now. The co-founder himself compares it. Solana is the Windows 2000 to Ethereum's 95. I'm bullish on Solana either way, but see if you agree with this reasoning.
Solana is really a multi-application operating system. I think of the difference between Solana and Ethereum is much like the difference between, like Windows 2000 and Windows 95. If people remember what that what that was, you have like a.
I was like, an adult at that time, and I barely remember. So please enlighten us.
Windows 95, a Windows operating system that was in those early days could only run one application at a time. So you would run the window that was facing you. It would run that app. It couldn't really run more than one. So it was a single-threaded OS built for CPUs, like processors that only had one core. And when hardware vendors realized that they cannot make a single processor any faster, they started adding cores. The problem was that operating systems just couldn't deal with that. They couldn't really actually manage it to run more than one application at a time. So it took a big pile of work to rewrite all of this. And like Microsoft spent, ungodly amounts of money, tens of thousands of engineers porting over all this stuff to Windows 2000, which is a proper operating system that can run multiple applications on different cores and stuff. And that's a hard engineering problem. So Solana is just that transition.
So Solana's had its Windows 2000 moment.
Well, we're the ones trying to build Windows 2000 while everyone else is still stuck in Windows 95.
This next token, Joe Rogan is bullish on now. This project is associated with a company that has, little to do with crypto. It's like a UFC. It's a type of fighting competition. It's called Karate Combat, and they're getting into Web 3 in a big way. I've given you my thesis on Injective protocol on this channel before. As you know, I'm an investor in Injective, and the growth of the Injective ecosystem is nothing short of awe-inspiring with each update, integration, and milestone. It's clear that Injective is charting a path towards a more inclusive and decentralized financial future. Injective makes our list now. Injective was built in the Cosmos ecosystem, and that ecosystem in general, it's one of the dark horses as far as L1 ecosystems in the space, and not a lot of people talk about their token Atom. And Atom is the most decentralized governance token in crypto, at least that's what this bull and analyst says. Either way, Cosmos Atom makes our list.
I do think that Atom does have a unique value proposition in the crypto ecosystem as a whole. And what that is I would say it is probably the most decentralized governance token in all of crypto.
I am Max Immutable X, gaining a lot of momentum both in technology and development and what they're building, plus it being recognized by the likes of Vanex. Vanex's new prediction saying Immutable is going to be a top 25 project and has multiple AAA games building on them. IMX is most likely to become a top 25 coin by market cap, currently at 42, with the release of these games and other high-budget games in 2024 and a well-designed token that aligns interests better than most. Now, Immutable X and all of these games on IMX is off of actually Polygon's ZK EVM. So two different tokens, IMX and also Polygon, making our list. They are separate tokens. FIFA is now releasing an NFT collection on the Polygon network, offering the opportunity to win tickets for the FIFA World Cup finals. So Polygon, king of partnerships and integration, continuing to go hard this cycle. I'm bullish on another layer 2 called Mayos Vitalik. Mom is actually attached to this project. But they're just about to launch a decentralized sequencer pool. They have a big upgrade coming up. Now, this is the bull case for Midas and the upgrade logically, so it's called the sequencer pool. This will launch alongside very enticing ecosystem initiatives that will make transaction counts blow up. I mean, there's a whole write-up here, but to cut to the chase, the Mayus value proposition is simple. One gas token for Mayus network. The higher the demand for making transactions or using the dApps, the higher the demand for the native gas token. Revenue ACRAL, this is key. The more transactions take place, the more revenue is generated by stakers with the upcoming initiatives, implementations, developments, and liquidity mining campaigns. MISH should be at the top of your list for chains to bridge to and tokens to do your own research on TLDR. Mayus generates revenue based on transaction count. All stakers will earn a portion of the fees. So what's the best way to think about Ethereum versus Ethereum L2s? Well, one framing is to think of Ethereum as an index fund, with new L2s rotating in, similar to how new Fortune 500 companies rotate into the S&P 500 index, ultimately driving value to the index. I love how these token terminal guys articulate this. Listen to this.
Ethereum sort of plays the role as almost like an index fund, where you have new L2s coming in and building on top, just like you have new companies rotating into the S&P 500 and they're driving value to that. You know, if you invest in the S&P 500 index, I sort of see Ethereum as that index fund. And then there's obviously more risk because you have to pick the correct L2 if you're going to make those investments. Maybe you invest in a basket of them. But that's kind of how I'm thinking about sort of this value accrual through the tech stack.